All right, ladies and gentlemen, out there in the MMA Kingdom world, it's good to see y'all again. It's been a long time, man. King JB is definitely back, though. This coming Monday, I should be settled into my new home here in Cape Coral, Florida. Right now, I'm still in Clearwater, Florida, and been having a real good time, man. Vacation, going to all the amusement parks, the Disney World. Well, I haven't been to Disney World yet, but SeaWorld and Busch Gardens and all that. Got a chance to meet, Mike Fats down here, who's obviously a real good dude. Big time, long time supporter of the MMA Kingdom. I definitely want to give big ups to him and thank him for taking me and the boys over to the Nasty Boys and Hulk Hogan's gym down the street here. Definitely real cool, man. I'm glad to be here. With all that being said, though, I want to give a shout out first and foremost to my sponsors out there with the MMA Affiliates Radio, which is whatyourfight.com. Big thanks to everybody out there that continues to support the Kingdom. You know what I'm saying? We took a little bit of time off, and I appreciate everybody that hung with us. The MMA Kingdom Facebook, original one, for some reason I cannot get into, but don't worry, I've made a new one. We will get things rolling starting Monday. In 2 days, I'll be back to my normal routine. Obviously play-by-play, all that shit. So I do thank you for everyone that stood by. With that being said, we're going to get into UFC 143. A few news and notes I want to get into, a few different things I want to get into before I get into that. I got to say, man, I saw the Toothless MMA fans video parody of DiBiase and MMA topics, man. It was the greatest video I think I've ever seen in my entire life. I got to say that, man. That shit was just hilarious. A lot of ways I agree, man. You know what I mean? And you guys know how I feel about that scenario. Just a quick story for you guys, man. The minute I created the new MMA Kingdom Facebook page, the first message that came across was from DiBiase with some hating ass shit. It is what it is, man. I got too much shit. I'm out on the beach and shit right now. I ain't got time to worry about some kid in his mom's basement up in Boston. You know what I mean? It just keeping it real. But I did want to let y'all know that's how that shit went. I'm not really going to get into too many beefs anymore, man. It's not really my thing. I got too much shit to do. Like I said, when I'm not doing this MMA shit, I'm going to be on the beach. I'm going to be covering, pro wrestling and MMA. I just really don't have the time to sit here and play with some of you kids in your mom's basement, man. I'm doing real big shit right now outside of MMA. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. But like I said, to you supporters that's been around, I appreciate everything y'all have done. I appreciate every time that you guys, click onto one of my websites or pages or YouTube videos or whatever the case may be. Especially those that take the time to listen to MMA Affiliates Radio. Alright, with all that being said, real quick, if any of you guys know how to record Skype video conferences, let me know, man. Get at me. I'll figure out something to get you in return if you can help me out with that. Because I'd like to start recording the video aspect of my interviews with some of these fighters. So anybody that's got the know-how, I'm not really a computer nerd and shit like that. Big ups to you computer nerds, though, man. I like y'all, man. Y'all help me out a lot sometimes. But get back in touch. Real quick, man, I want to talk about the Overeem battery with this bitch. Look, I can see right now exactly how this shit happened. Overeem in the club, bitch coming up to him, he pushes him out the way, man. She's probably in his face. Listen, man. You guys that's out there dogging him, talking shit about him, listen, sometimes you just gotta back a bitch up off you. That's just the way life goes, man. So, with Overeem, man, look at the fame he's gathered over the past year, man. You can't really knock him for that. It's not like he Brett Rogered the bitch. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be real. Big ups to Alistair Overeem. I told you guys a year ago he'd be the heavyweight champion of the world in the UFC. I think we're very close to that. A lot of you guys thought I was crazy for putting him number one. Y'all are starting to see what's up, man. So we'll see how that all pans out. Let's see what else we got. War Machine back to prison for a year. A lot of you guys, man. A lot of you guys that's never been to prison or jail, man. You guys talk a lot of shit. I've read on the forums. I hear y'all saying, man, he better not drop the soap. What is y'all's infatuations with rapes in prison, man? You do realize it really doesn't happen like that, right? People don't really get raped in prison like that. The people that get fucked in prison are people that want to get fucked in prison. That's just the truth. For instance, someone like DiBiase, if he went to prison, Michael Pepper, if he went to prison, they would get raped and fucked because they actually like that kind of thing. Do Do you see what I'm saying? You wouldn't find someone like myself or just an average guy. You wouldn't find an average guy getting raped. It just doesn't happen because it's not quite that easy. You do realize how hard it is to take a man's ass? Just being honest, man. So quit with that bullshit, man. You guys that's never been, or you watch way too much odds, you watch way too much movies and all that type shit. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the next subject. Still on War Machine. Now, another thing, man. You guys act like because someone's committed a crime, they can't come back from that. You know, they're just a piece of shit forever. I see you guys still calling Michael Vick a piece of shit like that. You know, are you motherfuckers gonna give a guy a chance to, you know, to come back, to rehabilitate himself? And just because they got caught with something doesn't mean that they were a piece of shit. Because every last one of you, I guarantee you, has done something that could put you in prison. You just didn't get caught, man. You can call yourself smart or call yourself whatever you want to call yourself. But you know, that's the only difference, is you didn't get caught. You know what I'm saying? Some of you guys that sitting there jerking off while you're watching Brock Lesnar should go to prison right now. And you just haven't. So it is what it is. Now, with all that being said, man, you know, the MMA news, you know, there's a lot of controversy everywhere. Dana White, the SOPA, the hackers. Listen, Dana White's a jerk off. We already know that. Dana White is only interested in Dana White. You know, yeah, he does some things for the fans, and I'll give him credit for that. But let's be honest, man. All you got to do is read June White's book, and you'll learn all about Dana White. You know, if he would do the thing that he did to his grandmother, he would fuck y'all. Trust me. So anyone that's surprised with Dana White trying to completely tear down our internet freedom, are you really surprised? You know, and for the record, it's working, because I went to, all of my sites have been stopped. I went to quicksilverscreen.com, man, can't get my shit no more. It really affected me, but don't worry, I still got streams, I know where they're at. So Dana, you can't do shit, fuck you. King JB don't give a fuck. Fuck you, Dana White, period. Alright, now moving on. UFC 143. Let's go ahead and keep it moving. Let's see, we got Condit and Diaz, man. You know, obviously a huge fight card, man. UFC has been putting on some huge shows, a lot of shows recently. So I'm gonna go ahead and real briefly go over the undercard. We got a welterweight fight with Stephen Thompson and Dan Stidgen. Stephen Thompson, obviously the Wonder Boy, Wonder Kid, whatever the fuck you want to call him, undefeated. You know, people have been going real hype about this dude, man. And I saw his kickboxing fights and whatever. Listen, you know, he's good, and people are calling him the next Machida. No, his little tournaments that I saw, even those were not that good. Do I think he'll win this fight? Yeah, but here's the truth, man. Any competition in that welterweight division will take him down, especially once you get up towards the top. Everybody's a wrestler, it seems like, in the welterweight division. I do not think he has any chance of being successful in the division. He may win this fight. In fact, I do think he'll win this fight, but I think it'll be a decision. I do not think he'll finish this fight. I just don't see it. I don't see the same thing in him that everyone else seems to see. So, and I even would be willing to pick a decision if I just had even a slightest bit of confidence in Mr. Stitchin, but I don't. So we're going to go with Stephen Thompson by decision. Now, next up, we got the middleweight fight between Rafael Natal and Michael Kuiper, however the fuck you pronounce his name. Natal's 13-3, Kuiper's 11-0. Great matchup. I'm actually excited to see this, but I do think Natal is going to win this by submission. I think he's the more accomplished. Even though Cooper's undefeated, I think Natal's the better all-around fighter. I just got faith in his jiu-jitsu, to be honest, so I think Natal's going to pull this off. Matthew Riddle, Henry Martinez, man. Great fight. Riddle's 5-3, Martinez 8-1. Martinez, this is a welterweight fight, by the way. Martinez has been making some noise early in his career, not outside of the UFC. I'm not a big fan of Riddle. I think he'll be cut after this fight because I think Martinez is going to pull it off by vicious knockout. Matt Brown, Chris Cope. I don't even understand how Matt Brown still has a job. Chris Cope at 5-3, how he's in the UFC. This whole card is a welterweight card, by the way. Man, I don't know who to pick in this fight, but because I'm just not fond of, especially of Matt Brown. So I'm going to go with Chris Cope. I think Chris Cope can pull I don't know if it's considered an upset or not, but I'm going to go with Chris Cope by decision. I'm not going to like this fight. I think it'll be boring. I think the fans will be booing. I believe the loser will be cut from the UFC. I really don't believe either one of them has a solid place in the UFC. Bruce Leroy, Alex, Caceres, who also, in my opinion, don't belong in the UFC. At 135, he's 6-4. Edwin Figueroa at 8-1, 135. I think Figueroa easily wins this fight. I know a lot of you guys are Bruce Leroy fans. I don't see it in Bruce Leroy. I think Figueroa either pulls the submission win or it gets a decision. But I got Figueroa easily. No way Bruce Leroy wins this fight. Dustin Poirier and Max Holloway. Poirier's 11-1. Holloway's 4-0. This is in the 145 featherweight division. Poirier is going to destroy him. Poirier by any way he wants. I think it doesn't really matter. I think Poirier will win this fight hands down, no competition. There's a lot of fighters on this card I just don't think belong here. Max Holloway at 4-0. I just don't see what he's done to get here. Ed Herman, we're going back to the middleweight division. 19-7 against Clifford Starks, undefeated, 8-0. Great fight. I can't wait for this shit. Herman, no, he's such a fucking monster, man. He's very underrated. Clifford Starks has a fucking power hand. With this one, I think you got to go with Ed Herman based on experience. But I would not be surprised if Clifford Starks knocks him out. But my pick's Ed Herman. Probably by decision, man. Maybe submission. My favorite fight of the night, other than the main event, Renan Barrio, 29-1. The most underrated fighter at 135 against Scott Jorgensen at 13-4. A lot of people are picking Jorgensen because of his knockout power, and he's a fan favorite. Barrio is going to kick that ass. It's going to be a submission or a decision. This will make him 30-1. Will somebody please give Renan Barrio, or however you pronounce his first name, a fucking title shot? I mean, how many fights does this guy got to win in a row? What does he want? He's like on a 20-something. I mean, I don't even know how many he's won in a row. It's insane, though. But give the man a title shot. Koscheck and Pierce. I think Pierce made a huge mistake by calling out Koscheck. I hate Koscheck, but I'm going to be honest. He's top of the food chain in that division, man. Koscheck is amazing. Pierce can win it because he's like a smaller man. He's another John Fitch type fighter. He can bore the crowd and outpoint this victory. I think Koscheck's going to do it, though. I think Koscheck's going to win a decision, and what'll be probably a very boring fight. A lot of wrestling involved. Maybe interesting. I don't know. Co-main event, man. Big Country, 17-6 in the heavyweight division. Roy Nelson against Fabricio Verdum, 14-5, making his UFC return. I think Verdum's going to get cut here if he puts up a boring fight and loses whatsoever. He did just have a horrible fight with Overeem. I don't care if he beat Fedor or not. I think Dana White will cut him just to take another shot at Fedor. Like, look, somebody beat you that we cut twice. I think, as crazy as it sounds, man, I think Nelson's going to get this win. Verdum, where does he succeed at? The ground. Nelson's no joke on the ground either. I think Roy Nelson's going to win a decision here, and Verdum's going to be cut. It's great. I know a lot of people are like, what? You know what I mean? But I got Big Country over Verdum. It's just a bad matchup for Verdum, I think. The main event, one of the best main events of the year. Nick Diaz, 27-7. Carlos Condit, 27-5 for the interim welterweight title. A lot of people are excited about this, and I've been getting questions all over the place, man, about who I think is going to win this. I'm not a Nick Diaz hater. I think he's great. I think he's easily a top 3 welterweight in the world. But Carlos Condit, I said it months ago on MMA Affiliates Radio when he came on the show and I talked to him, he will be the next welterweight champion. I think he'll beat George St. Pierre. Carlos Condit is the man. He will get the TKO win over Nick Diaz. That's it. Now, I will say this. If it goes to the ground, I'm a little bit nervous for Condit. But I think, other than that pit-pat, jabs that Diaz does, I think the striking goes to Carlos Condit hands down, man. And I know a lot of people are like, what? Carlos Condit's a killer, man. I gotta love him, man. So, a lot of people think I disrespect Nick Diaz because I never pick him. And maybe you're right. But you can't pick it. I think you guys are overdoing it. I think you swing on his dick a little bit too much by picking him every fight. In Yeah, that's just the truth, man. And I'll tell you now though, if I just don't think he can do it, man. I mean, I think Carlos Condit's the guy, man. It's going to be a beautiful fight, though. I think it definitely has potential to be fight of the night. I think we're in for a real treat with this fight. Tonight's the night. I'm going to sit here probably with Mike Fats may come over, may watch the UFC. I don't know yet. We're going to work some things together. First time I watched a UFC with a MMA Kingdom supporter, so, man, it'll be pretty interesting to see. I'll get some video for y'all, man. You know how I do it. But I'm really happy, man, about tonight's card. I'm real happy to be in Florida right now. I'm in the hotel room in Clearwater right now, just doing the thing, man. The MMA Kingdom will be fully back, obviously, on Monday. My picks for fight of the night, I gotta go with Carlos Condit and Nick Diaz. My pick for submission of the night, probably, I say Mr. Barrio. My pick for knockout of the night. Oh man, that's gonna be a hard one. Let me look at this shit again. Knockout of the night. I'm going to go out on a limb and go with Henry Martinez over Matthew Riddle. We'll see. We'll see how that goes, man. Remember, you heard it here first. MMA Affiliates Radio tomorrow night on X Factor Radio. We are coming back. I took a 2-week vacation, obviously, because I'm on the road. Even though some of you haters, like DBS, these bitch ass, sending emails. Man, I see you guys are dead. It fell off. Man, get off my dick. I'm on the beach chilling, man. You're in your mama's garage and basement asking if you can drink the orange juice. Get off my dick. Anyways, with all that being said, MMA Kingdom, UFC 143. Really excited about the shit. I'll post another video later. Love y'all, man. I'm out this bitch. I may do my money picks later, man. So we'll get back. I'll holler at y'all. I'm out. Big ups to WhatYourFight.com. Darren Clark, man. Make sure y'all go check that shit out.